There are secrets that hide because they are forbidden, and there are secrets that hide because they are too honest. This is one of those. For thousands of years, people searched for power in temples, gold, spells, names of angels, codes carved into stone, because the mind loves anything it can collect. But the priests of Thoth, the old keepers of vibration, guarded something much simpler than treasure: a sound. Not a song for entertainment, not a chant for display. A precise living vibration, so plain that the ego would dismiss it, and so exact that if you do it once correctly, it can change the way consciousness recognizes itself forever. I'm going to tell you something that might irritate you at first. If you came here for drama, you will be disappointed. Because the real secret isn't loud, it isn't cinematic, it doesn't explode into lightning. It feels like the moment your own name becomes strange on your tongue, like the second you realize you've been inside a dream, and the dream can feel you waking up. The old myth says Thoth wrote the laws of reality on emerald, green like the inner eye, green like the color behind the eyelids when you close them and truly see. But the deeper tradition whispers that Thoth didn't only teach writing, he taught remembering. And the fastest doorway into remembering was never intellectual, it was vibrational. Because consciousness doesn't only respond to meaning, it responds to frequency. Modern science has clumsy words for this: resonance, entrainment, vagus nerve tone, neural synchrony, coherent breathing, harmonic overtones. Useful words, but they're still only fingers pointing toward the moon. The ancient initiates didn't say neural synchrony, they said the listener becomes the listening. They said a tone can open a seal. They said a tone can cause the soul to recognize itself like a mirror recognizes a face. And then, quietly, they warned, not everyone is ready. Not because the sound is dangerous like a weapon, but because it reveals what the mind hides to survive. Grief you never finished, fear you disguised as ambition, anger you called drive, loneliness you turned into noise. This is why the sound was kept inside temples, not because it required stone walls, but because it required a container, a safe chamber, a disciplined heart, a steady breath, a mind that could witness without immediately grabbing. So before we go further, hear the prerequisites like a cold wind through a corridor. Do not attempt this practice while driving, operating anything risky, or when you feel extremely unstable. If you have a history of seizures, severe panic attacks, or medical concerns triggered by breathwork or sound, choose gentler practices and consult a qualified professional. If you feel dizzy, stop, breathe normally, and ground yourself by touching something solid and naming 5 things you can see. Now, if you're still here, good, because that means the part of you that remembers is already stirring. And when you do this correctly, you won't gain something new, you'll lose something false. You'll lose the spell that says you are only your thoughts. You'll lose the trance that says you are separated from your own awareness. You'll touch the strange, clean silence behind identity, the place where consciousness recognizes itself and for a moment stops pretending it is asleep. Tonight, I'm going to guide you through the old method, half instruction, half rite, so that you can test it with your own body, your own breath, your own inner hearing. And if it works, you will know, not because I convinced you, but because something inside you will whisper, unmistakably, yes, I remember. A single vibration, once used in temple chambers to make awareness recognize its own source. People imagine ancient Egypt as sunlight and spectacle. Processions, golden masks, enormous statues staring into eternity. But the real work of the initiates happened in a different world. Underground corridors where light was rationed, where silence was not empty but thick, where you could hear your own blood as if it belonged to someone else. I want you to picture the chamber, not as history book architecture. Picture it as a psychological environment. Stone that absorbs sound, a ceiling low enough to humble your pride, a narrow space that forces you to encounter your own mind without distractions. And in that chamber, the priest does not shout prayers, he listens. Because the secret sound is not merely produced, it is received. Here's the paradox the modern mind hates. The sound is made with your voice, but it is not your voice. It's like striking a bell. You can hit the bell, but the ring is older than the strike. The ring belongs to the bell's nature, not your effort. The effort only invites what is already true. This is why so many people fail when they chase frequencies like trophies. They force the throat, they clench the jaw, they try to perform enlightenment. The ancient magicians would laugh softly at that. Not mockery, more like pity. Because forcing a sacred tone is like trying to command the ocean using a cup. The tone we're working with is simple, but it has a precise doorway, a stable breath, a relaxed throat, and a mind that does not chase results. And now I'll tell you the first trap, because if you miss this, everything becomes theater. The prophet trap. The moment you feel something, even a small tingling, even a calm, you may want to announce it, prove it, turn it into identity. I am awakened. I am chosen. I have power. That voice is not Thoth. That voice is the ego wearing a crown made of fog. If you feel the urge to declare, soften it. Let it pass like a bird crossing the sky. The real sign of contact is not arrogance. It is quiet clarity. Now, the tone. In some traditions, the sound is disguised as a simple syllable. In others, it is hidden inside longer chants. Egypt, India, Tibet, different languages, same physics. Vibration plus attention plus breath equals doorway. But what Thoth's tradition emphasized was not the word, it was the shape of the sound. The tone is formed like this, a gentle humming that begins in the chest, rises through the throat without squeezing, and rests behind the eyes as a subtle internal pressure, like a warm coin placed on the center of your forehead, not heavy, just present. People think the third eye is mystical decoration, but you already know it as a sensation, the feeling when you concentrate so deeply you can almost feel your attention as a physical thing. We are going to use sound to make that feeling coherent. The practice. Do this exactly once, carefully. 1. Set the chamber. Sit upright, not rigid, upright like a tree. Feet on the floor if you can, hands relaxed. If you're lying down, keep the spine long and the jaw loose. 2. Seal the distractions. Close your eyes halfway or fully. Let the tongue rest gently behind the upper teeth or soften it entirely. Unclench your teeth. Your jaw is the first lock. 3. The 7-breath key. Inhale through your nose for a comfortable count. Do not strain. Breathe out slowly through the nose or softly through the mouth. Do this 7 times with one intention.
the inhale, gather. On the exhale, release. Not poetic release, real release. Shoulders lowering, belly softening, forehead unwrinkling. If your mind races, don't fight it. Imagine you are sitting by a road, watching carts pass. Thoughts are carts. You are not required to chase them. Now, find the still point. On the seventh exhale, pause for one natural moment, no forcing. In that small pause, place your attention gently between the eyebrows, slightly behind the forehead, as if you're looking from the inside. This is the place where many people strain. Don't strain. It's not staring, it's resting your awareness there. And now, the Thoth Hum, the secret sound shape. Now inhale quietly through the nose. On the exhale, make a soft hum. Not loud, not weak, smooth, continuous, like a cat purring, like a distant engine, like the earth remembering it can sing. Keep lips closed, keep the throat relaxed. The vibration should feel like it begins in the chest and spreads upward. Hold the hum as long as comfortable. Aim for 10 to 20 seconds. If that's too long, do less. Precision matters more than duration. When you finish, inhale normally. Pause. Notice. Repeat this hum 3 times. That's it. Yes, that's it. And you might be thinking, that can't be the secret. That reaction is the second trap, the disbelief trap. The mind has been trained by modern life to believe that only complexity is valuable. But the nervous system doesn't care about complexity. It cares about coherence. A single coherent tone can reorganize your state faster than 1,000 complicated thoughts. This is why lullabies work. This is why certain drums pull crowds into the same rhythm. This is why Tibetan overtone chanting can make the body feel like it is made of water. The ancient Egyptians understood something modern culture forgets. Your attention is an instrument. Your breath is a bow. Your voice is the string. Now, let's talk about what you may feel, because the body gives honest feedback when the mind lies. Signs you're doing it correctly. A subtle warmth or pressure behind the forehead or between the eyebrows. A calm heaviness in the eyelids, like sleep trying to arrive, but you remain awake. A sense that the room got bigger inside your head. A sudden emotional wave, sadness, gratitude, tenderness without a clear story. A momentary stillness where thoughts become distant, like voices in another room. If you experience nothing dramatic, don't panic. The practice is not fireworks. Often, the first sign is simply this. You notice you were tense, and now you are not. You notice you were inside thought, and now you are watching it. That shift is not small. That shift is the beginning of remembering. Side effects and warnings: do not romanticize these. When the tone begins to touch the inner field, you may experience vivid dreams for a few nights, old memories rising, sometimes randomly, increased sensitivity to noise, negativity, or chaotic environments, a strange discomfort with habits that once felt normal. People call this spiritual awakening and try to market it. The temple tradition called it something more sober: recalibration. Because when your inner signal becomes cleaner, distortion becomes unbearable. And here is the third trap, more dangerous than disbelief: the obsession trap. If the tone works, you may want to repeat it constantly, chasing the sensation, trying to live inside the high. Don't. The goal is not to escape life into vibration. The goal is to bring clarity into life. Do the practice once. Sit with the aftertaste. Let the nervous system learn it slowly. Let your psyche integrate without forcing. Now, the mythic layer, because myth is how the unconscious understands instruction. The scribe said Thoth measured the heavens, but another reading is hidden in the symbol. He measured the mind. He taught that the mind is a corridor full of doors. Most doors are labeled with your name, your fears, your desires, but one door has no label. You cannot open it by thinking. You can open.
This is not hearing. This is the moment you realize silence has layers. It's hard to explain to someone who hasn't felt it because the mind automatically translates everything into familiar categories. A sound is a sound, a breath is a breath, a hum is a hum. But when you do Thoth's tone correctly, even once, something subtle changes in the way you perceive. Not outward perception first, inward. It's like discovering you've been living your whole life in a house with one room, and suddenly a hidden corridor appears in the wall, not through force, not through effort, but through a small shift in frequency. You realize there is an inner ear, not a mystical organ floating in fantasy, a faculty of awareness that can detect vibration inside your own consciousness. And when it wakes, you begin to notice something quietly shocking. Your thoughts have a sound, your emotions have a sound, your memories have a sound, even your identity, the thing you call me, has a sound. And now you understand why the ancient temples weren't monuments, they were tuning rooms. The most dangerous misunderstanding. People hear secret sound and imagine it as a magic spell. They want the right syllable like a password that unlocks instant power. That's not what this is. The sound is not a password, it's a tuning fork. And the door it opens is not a supernatural realm. It opens the simplest realm you've avoided since childhood. Pure awareness without narration. This is why the technique feels both sacred and unsettling, because once the inner ear wakes, you can't fully go back to the previous trance. You can still live your normal life, still work, still love, still argue, still laugh, but something in you remembers there is a deeper room behind the noise, and that remembrance changes your relationship with everything. Now listen carefully, because this section is where many people sabotage the method, not from evil, from impatience. The performer trap. The modern body has learned to treat everything like content. Even spirituality becomes performance. We tighten the throat like we're trying to impress an invisible judge. We push the sound louder, longer, stronger, as if more truth equals more truth. But the inner ear is not impressed by force. The inner ear responds to ease plus precision. If you squeeze your throat, you block the very channel the sound needs to travel through. If you try to win the practice, you lose the practice. The ancient discipline was almost insultingly simple. Relax the jaw, soften the throat, make the hum smooth, let attention rest behind the brow, then listen, not with ears, with presence. The second practice, the listening test. This is where the technique becomes more than humming. It becomes a mirror. Step 1, the chamber re-entry. Sit as before, spine long, shoulders loose, eyes closed or half closed. Step 2, coherent breath. Inhale slowly, exhale slowly. Do it 4 times. On the 4th exhale, let the breath empty naturally, then pause for 1 heartbeat. That pause is the doorway. Step 3, the Thoth's tone, softer than you think. Inhale. On the exhale, again. But here is the refinement. Make it so smooth that the beginning and ending are almost invisible. No sudden start, no sudden stop, like a river that doesn't announce where it begins. Hold it only as long as it stays relaxed. Step 4. The listening moment. When you finish the hum, do not rush into another one. Instead, remain still for 10 seconds and listen. What are you listening for? Not hallucinations, not voices, not spectacle. You are listening for the aftertone. Most people miss this because they chase the sound they produce, but the secret is hidden in what remains when the sound ends. The ancients called it the echo of the chamber. Modern science might call it lingering resonance, nervous system settling, attention stabilizing, but in direct experience it feels like this. A thin thread of vibration remains inside your head, delicate and alive. Sometimes it feels like a faint ringing, sometimes like a soft pressure, sometimes like a quiet spaciousness. That is the inner ear opening. Step 5. Repeat 2 more times. Hum again, listen again. 3 hums total, 3 listening pauses total. Then stop, and do not judge the result immediately, because judgment is noise, and we are trying to detect subtlety. What you may feel and why it matters. If you did it correctly, you may notice the silence feels textured, like velvet instead of emptiness. Thoughts still appear, but they feel farther away. The forehead point becomes more lit, not visually, but sensorily. Your breathing becomes automatic, almost elegant. A strange calm appears, not sleepy calm, but clear calm. Sometimes people feel a wave of emotion with no story, tears for no reason, a tenderness that arrives like rain. That is not weakness, that is the psyche unclenching, because your body has been bracing for years, bracing against life, bracing against feelings, bracing against uncertainty. Thoth's tone is not magic, it is a way to stop bracing long enough for awareness to recognize itself. Cross-cultural echoes: Egypt, India, Tibet. Here's what's haunting. This is not only Egyptian. India has the humming bee breath, Brahmari, where the hum calms the mind and opens inner perception. Tibet has overtone chants that make the body feel like a temple bell. Even in modern neuroscience, humming and slow breathing are known to influence the nervous system, shifting the body toward regulation, safety, and coherence. Different languages, same doorway. Why? Because the human being is an instrument everywhere on Earth, and the instrument responds to vibration everywhere on Earth. The legend says Thoth carried the stylus of writing, but another way to hear the legend is this: he carried the stylus of frequency, because frequency writes on the nervous system, it writes on attention, it writes on identity. The cold warning: don't skip this. When the inner ear begins to awaken, you may become sensitive in ways you didn't expect. You might notice you can't tolerate certain music anymore. You feel drained after being around chaotic people. You become painfully aware of your own lies. Old habits feel loud and unpleasant. Your sleep changes, your dreams intensify. This can scare people, and fear is the oldest gatekeeper. So I will tell you what the temple instructors would tell you without romance. Do not panic, do not inflate, do not obsess. Sensitivity is not a trophy, it's a responsibility. If you become more sensitive, you must also become more grounded. Eat real food, drink water, walk, sleep, keep your life stable, because the biggest side effect of vibration work is not visions, it's imbalance. People chase the third eye and forget the feet. That's how they break themselves. Thoth did not train dreamers, he trained balanced instruments. The real sign the door opened. Not tingles, not pressure, not energy fireworks. The real sign is this: you begin to notice the gap between thought and awareness. A thought appears, and something in you remains untouched. That untouched part is what's remembering,
It's the witness that was present before your first memory and will remain after your last story. If you taste even 1 second of that witness, yes, 1 second, you have already begun. Because once the mind sees it, it can't unsee it. The journey has a momentum now. Your confirmation ritual. Comment prompt. If you completed the listening pauses after each hum, comment one of these. I heard the silence behind the sound. The inner ear has awakened. I have activated the remembering. This is not superstition, it's participation. The temple was never only a building, it was a field, and a field strengthens when many instruments resonate together. In the next section, we go deeper into the lore, the legend, the psychological dangers, and the exact way to aim the tone into the solar channel the Egyptians associated with Ra, as not religion, but as a frequency of clarity.
This is the frequency of clarity. Too clean for ego, too bright for confusion. Let me say something that will sound arrogant, and I mean it that way on purpose. If you think you can just repeat R.A. 1,000 times and become enlightened, the ancient magicians would laugh in your face. Not because R.A. is fake, because repetition without precision is just noise wearing a costume. The Egyptians didn't worship the sun the way modern people imagine. They weren't naive. They weren't staring at the sky like children. They were studying something more subtle. The sun is the most obvious symbol of coherence. It rises, it holds, it sets. It doesn't argue with itself. It doesn't negotiate with doubt. It radiates. And in the inner tradition, Ra was not merely a god with a hawk head. Ra was a quality of consciousness, a solar channel of lucid awareness that burns away mental fog. This is why the third section is dangerous. Not because it will hurt you, because it can offend the parts of you that survive by confusion. Yes, some people survive by confusion. Confusion keeps you from acting. Confusion keeps you from changing. Confusion lets you delay the truth. Ra doesn't allow that. Ra is the inner sun that says, enough, see clearly. And this is why initiates feared this stage more than the chanting itself. Because once the solar channel touches you, your excuses become loud. Your dishonesty becomes obvious. Your distractions become tasteless. People call that awakening. The old priests called it exposure. The lore, a temple story you can feel. There's a fragment of temple lore, half myth, half instruction. It says the initiate was led into a chamber before sunrise. No torches, no incense, no music. Only cold stone and the sound of their own breathing. The priest did not tell them stories. He did not comfort them. He said only this: when Ra rises outside, Ra must rise inside. And the initiate was taught a sound not to call a god, but to align the inner instrument with solar clarity. A sound so simple you might miss it. A sound that when aimed correctly feels like a beam passing through fog. Here's what matters. We are not adding something, we are subtracting distortion. And the tool is the same, Thoths Hum, but shaped into a sharper edge. The most common failure, the brightness trap. The moment people hear solar, they try to force brightness. They tense the forehead, they strain the eyes behind the eyelids, they push the breath. They try to activate the third eye like flipping a switch. That strain creates headaches, agitation, and false spiritual drama. The solar channel is not forced, it's allowed. Think of a window. You don't create sunlight by pushing on glass. You clean the glass, you open the curtains, then sunlight arrives by itself.
RA is not something you manufacture, it is what remains when the mind stops clouding. The RA alignment practice. Do this once with respect. Step 1. Prepare the body like a temple pillar. Sit upright. Let the spine be long. Imagine a thread pulling the crown of your head gently upward. Relax the shoulders. Relax the belly. Soften the jaw. Step 2. 4 breaths, but with a different intention. Inhale slowly through the nose. Exhale slowly through the mouth, as if fogging a mirror softly. Do this 4 times. On each exhale, imagine you are releasing mental smoke. Not metaphorically, feel the actual softening of inner pressure. Step 3. The seed sound. Now inhale. On the exhale, hum but this time let it be slightly higher than before. Not high like singing, higher like lifting the vibration from chest to upper throat. You should still feel relaxed. If it becomes tight, lower it. Step 4. The inner sun point. As you hum, place your attention not between the eyebrows now, but slightly above it, center forehead, a little higher than the brow point. This is a subtle shift. Between the eyebrows can feel like a door. Above it can feel like a lamp. Don't strain. Rest awareness there like you're placing a feather. Step 5. The silent syllable of RA. Here is the key. You will not shout RA. You will shape the presence of RA inside the hum. After about 5 seconds of humming, quietly, inside your mouth, shape the tongue in breath as if you were going to whisper RA, but do not fully speak it. Let it be almost silent, like a ghost syllable. So the sound becomes subtle inner RA shape. Hold for 10 to 15 seconds. Then stop. And sit in silence for 15 seconds. Repeat 2 more times only. 3 rounds total. Then stop completely. Why this works? Ancient and modern without fantasy. In modern terms, slow breathing plus humming can help regulate the nervous system and shift brain activity toward calmer, more coherent states. Many traditions discovered this without machines. But there's even a deeper layer. When you hold a stable tone and shape attention inside it, you are training awareness to become continuous. Normally, awareness is chopped into fragments: thought, 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 distraction, thought, memory, worry. The stable hum acts like a rope across a river. Your attention has something to hold. And when you add the ghost RA shape, you turn the rope into a beam that points the mind toward clarity. That clarity is the solar channel. What you may experience, the true solar signs. If it's working, you may feel a clean, bright stillness, not emotional, almost neutral. The sense that your mind has less clutter. A subtle pressure like a gentle halo in the upper forehead. A quiet confidence that doesn't need words. And here's the haunting part. Sometimes the first thing RA illuminates is not bliss. It's truth. Truth about your relationships. Truth about your habits. Truth about your fear. Truth about the stories you tell yourself to stay comfortable. This can create discomfort. And discomfort creates the next trap. The escape trap. Once you touch clarity, you may want to leave life behind. You may think, I should quit everything. I should disappear into meditation. I should reject the world. Careful, that is not RA. That is fear wearing spiritual clothing. The solar channel doesn't make you run. It makes you see. And then you act with simplicity. One honest step. one clean decision, one clear boundary. That's solar work, not dramatic escape. Side effects if you aim too hard. If you strain the forehead or force the breath, you may experience head pressure or headache, irritability, restlessness, racing thoughts after practice. If this happens, stop. Return to the softer hum from earlier sections. Ground yourself. Drink water. Eat. Walk. Sleep. The temple tradition always balanced solar clarity with bodily stability. They didn't aim light into an unprepared nervous system. They prepared the vessel, the mythic image, to seal it in your memory. Imagine Thoth standing at the edge of dawn, not as a cartoon god, but as the principle of intelligence itself. He does not beg the sun to rise, he does not command it. He aligns with what is already true. And in that alignment, consciousness remembers. It is not the clouds, it is the sky. RA rises and reveals, not as belief, as direct perception. Confirmation ritual, comment prompt. If you completed the RA alignment practice, comment one of these. RA has risen inside me. I have activated solar clarity. The journey has begun. In the next and final section, we go to the most intense territory, the moment consciousness begins to remember itself fully, and the psychological guardians that appear: obsession, inflation, fear, and the temptation to turn the experience into identity. This is where people either integrate or break the mirror.
This is where the sound stops being a technique and becomes a mirror you can't unsee. Anyone can hum. Anyone can sit still for 30 seconds and pretend it's spiritual. But there is a moment, quiet, merciless, unmistakable, when the practice crosses a threshold and stops being something you do and starts revealing what you are. I still remember the first time it happened to me in a way I couldn't rationalize away. It wasn't dramatic. No voices, no glowing symbols, no cinematic visions. It was worse than that. It was ordinary. I was sitting in a normal room with normal noise outside, doing the hum exactly as instructed. Smooth, relaxed, almost boring. And then, for a single breath, I felt something like this. My thoughts were still there, but they weren't mine. My feelings were still there, but they weren't commands. My identity was still there, but it was like a coat hanging on a chair, useful, familiar, yet clearly separate from the one who could see it. And what remained was not a personality. What remained was awareness recognizing itself, not as an idea, as a living fact. That moment is the remembering. And the ancient initiates feared it, not because it was evil, but because it was irreversible. Once awareness recognizes itself, it can still play the game of being you, but it will never fully believe the game again. That changes everything. This is why temples had guardians, not monsters with claws, psychological thresholds that test whether you can hold truth without turning it into ego. This final section is where I speak to you like a warning carved into stone. If you do this practice and it works, you must become more honest, not with the world first, with yourself. Because vibration amplifies whatever is already inside you. If you have peace, it amplifies peace. If you have hidden fear, it amplifies fear until you look at it. If you have unresolved grief, it will rise like an ancient tide. The sound is not a toy, it is a revealer. The final practice, the full Thoth sequence. This is the complete rite, designed to be done once in a sitting. If you do it correctly, even one time, it can mark your field. Do it with respect. Step 1. The chamber. Sit upright, no distractions, silence if possible. Hands relaxed, jaw loose, eyes closed. Step 2. 7 breaths. The gate. Inhale gently through the nose, exhale slowly. Do 7 breaths. On each exhale, feel the face soften, the shoulders drop, the belly become unarmored. On the 7th exhale, pause naturally for a heartbeat. Step 3. 3 hums, the Thoth tone. Inhale. Exhale with a smooth for 10 to 20 seconds, relaxed. After the hum ends, sit in silence for 10 seconds and listen for the aftertone. Repeat 3 times. Step 4. 2 solar hums, the raw lens. Now, inhale. Hum again, slightly higher, attention resting slightly above the brow. After 5 seconds, shape the inner ra silently, ghost syllable, not spoken. Hold 10 to 15 seconds. Silence 15 seconds. Repeat once more. Only 2 rounds. Step 5. The seal, the silent witness. Now do nothing. No more humming. Sit in stillness for 1 full minute. If thoughts arise, do not wrestle them. Ask a single internal question softly. Who is aware of this thought? Do not answer with words. Wait. The answer is not a sentence. It is a shift, a small falling back into the witness. And if it happens, even briefly, you will feel it like a door opening inward, not into a new world, into the world you've been in all along, without the fog. What the remembering feels like, without poetry, without lies. People describe it differently, but the honest signatures are similar. A sudden spaciousness that is not emotional, a quiet, neutral clarity, a sense that awareness is behind everything, untouched, the feeling that you are present before thought and after thought, a simple peace that doesn't depend on circumstances. Sometimes it lasts 1 second, sometimes 10. Sometimes it's gone and you doubt it happened. That doubt is normal. The mind has lived as the narrator for so long it panics when it's not needed. But even a glimpse is enough, because a glimpse is proof, and proof changes the nervous system's map of reality. The Guardians, the 4 psychological threshold tests. Now we speak of the Guardians not as fantasy creatures, but as psychological tests that appear after the remembering. If you recognize them, you pass. If you worship them, you get trapped. Guardian 1. Inflation, the crown made of smoke. After the remembering, you might think, I am chosen, I am special, others are asleep. That is not awakening. That is ego inflation feeding on a sacred experience. Counterspell. Become simpler. Do something ordinary with care. Wash a dish. Tidy your space. Drink water slowly. If you can't be ordinary, you aren't free. Guardian 2. Obsession. The hungry mouth. You might chase the sensation, repeating the practice again and again, trying to recreate the same moment. But consciousness is not a slot machine. Chasing it makes it run. Counterspell. Stop practicing for a day. Let integration happen. Let your life become the practice. Guardian 3. Fear. The door slam. Old memories may rise. Old emotions may surge. You may think you broke something. You didn't. You revealed something. Counterspell. Ground. Eat, sleep, walk. Talk to someone you trust if needed. Keep your life stable. Don't turn turbulence into a myth. Guardian 4. Nihilism. The cold void.
Some people touch witness consciousness and misinterpret it as emptiness, meaninglessness, detachment. They become cold, they withdraw. That is not the goal. Awareness is not numbness, it is presence. Counterspell, return to the heart. Ask, can I be aware and still love? If the answer is no, you're still trapped. The deepest warning, the temple never spoke loudly about this. If you use this work to escape your responsibilities, you will become distorted. If you use this work to dominate others, you will become corrupted. If you use this work to build a spiritual identity, you will become trapped in a prettier cage. The true sign of remembering is not what you feel in meditation, it's what you become in life. More honest, more calm, less reactive, less addicted to drama, more capable of love without losing yourself. The ancient initiates measured progress by integration. Could you return to the market, to your family, to your ordinary day, and still remain inwardly aligned? If you couldn't, the temple didn't call you awakened, it called you unfinished. The collective resonance ritual, your comments seal. If you completed the full sequence, even if you only felt subtle shifts, write a comment to seal the field. Choose one. I have activated the remembering. The journey has begun. RA has risen inside me. I heard the silence behind the sound. When many people confirm together, it becomes more than a video. It becomes a chamber, a shared temple across distance, a collective tuning room where the ancient knowledge survives, not in books, not in monuments, but in living nervous systems. Closing invitation, without forced advertising. If this practice touched something in you, even a small, quiet recognition, then stay close, not to me, to the work. Subscribe not as a click, but as a vow to return to remembrance, like the initiates who marked the temple doorway so they wouldn't forget where the real chamber was, like the travelers who leave a stone on a path to say, I was here, I passed, you can too. Like the ones who keep the flame not for status, but so the next person can see. If you feel called, share this with someone who has been drowning in noise and doesn't know there's a deeper room inside them. And if you want to strengthen the field, like the video, not as applause, but as a signal sent through the network. This matters. Most importantly, comment your confirmation, because a spoken word, a written word, is vibrational.